What is going on, guys? Welcome to week 7 of my stats. So muscle versus marathon continues, and like every other video we've been doing, I want to tell you what I did the previous week and what's going on this week itself, which is week 7. Well, today starts Monday, week 8, so this is last week, this is the prior week. So let's compare and see where things are at. For me, consistency is the key, and you'll see this trend going on and on and on. So there's not going to be a huge amount of difference, and this is why I track it. If you don't track it, you're never going to know. If you're messing, you're guessing. So let's not mess. So this week's sleep, 7 hours and 33. Last week, 7 hours and 35. Pretty much the same. Deep sleep, 1 hour and 38. Last week, 1 hour and 28. So I got 10 minutes more on average deep sleep. But because the sleep was, the amount was pretty much the same, my REM has dropped from 125 to 125 from 138. So a bit of a difference there, but still both of them within an incredible range, almost an hour and a half on both. So really, really happy with the quality of the sleep for sure, as well as the quantity. My HRV was 38. That dropped slightly, 41 here. And on my Oura ring, I did get a few minor strain signs, and purely because I've been struggling with a bit of a hay fever. I've never really had hay fever before, but I'm struggling slightly with that this year. A lot of bunged up nose, especially at night, and I think that has affected my heart rate a little bit, variability. Resting heart rate 52, 51, that's pretty much stayed the same. VO2 max 40, again, that pretty much stayed the same. Calories wise, consumed 2679, so almost 27 here, 2821, so slightly less here. Now, I do think that probably I'm still around the 28. I guessed a couple, so I went to 2 barbecues this week, and I also ate out breakfast twice. So there was a lot of guessing, especially in the barbecues, a lot of guessing. So I would say probably a little bit more than that, most likely, but there or thereabouts. Protein, 206, last week 203, so very similar protein. I still do want to bring that down, but for now I'm kind of just going with the flow. Carbs, 296, last week 361, so a lot less carbohydrates, but I got a lot of guessing. And in these barbecues, I chose to go for more higher protein foods, more higher fat foods, and stayed away from the carbs. In barbecues, I just prefer the more meaty stuff and the fishy stuff, so hence why that was the reason. And my fat intake got up to 72 from 63. My fibre 48, which is good. Last week 47. So pretty much there or thereabouts on all of them. Steps 10,159 last week. I actually haven't looked, so let's have a quick look for the steps. I think it's pretty much there or thereabouts the same. I'm not doing a huge amount of steps outside of my runs and just what I do day to day. I'm not trying to get steps because I'm obviously doing a lot more biking at the moment, and obviously that takes away from the amount of steps that I'm doing. But let's have a look at the steps for last week on my Oura. So if I go to Oura here, activity, steps, last week, 11,392. So a little bit more, purely because 2 longer runs compared to the previous week. So 11,392, 11,392 steps. So last week was 10,159. So about 1,000 more than the previous, and I expect this to go up. However, this week the runs are actually going to be shorter. It's almost like a deload week for the running, so this is probably going to decrease from last week. Weight wise, 66.3 last week, 66.3 the previous week, exactly the same, nothing's changed. And this is the average weight. I take my average weight every single time. I weigh myself every day, and then the average over the month. I use a Fitbit scale, which gives me the average at the top every single week. So I don't know if you're able to see on here. There we go. So the average is in the blue line. So yeah, 66.3, 66.3. This morning weight was 66.2. So that's it for this. And I'm going to share with you the activity from week 7. Let's go. Activity wise for week 7, Monday, I did a 3.3 mile walk. That was it. Nice, easy day on Monday, sorry. Tuesday, 8-mile bike ride and a full body weight session. On Wednesday, I did an 8-mile bike ride. On Thursday, 4.3 mile run and a full body session. On Friday, 8-mile bike ride. On Saturday, 8-mile bike plus a full body weight session. And on Sunday, longer run, the longest run I've ever done in my life, 6 miles run. And that was my activity for week 7. So these are the stats for week 7. And we're now in week 8. Today's Monday. I'm about to do a little bit of mobility work right now. I'm suffering with a bit of a shoulder issue that I did at tennis. So tennis is currently out of the question. So tomorrow, usually I would have played tennis on a Tuesday. Tomorrow it's going to be a bike ride and a full body session, weight session. So for now, tennis is out of the question. I'm seeing physio tomorrow about my shoulder. So I'll give you a bit more of an update on that as soon as I know more. Right now, I'm going to do a bit of mobility on my shoulder myself, a bit of strengthening, a bit of stretching on my rotator cuff stuff, which I think that's what the problem is. And if I get some time before my next client, I will most likely get a VO2 max focused cardio, which is very short, but I'll record that for you as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As per usual, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next video. And don't forget, while we are doing this, donate below to the British Heart Foundation and support the cause. Thank you. See you on the next one.